much. Very nice to see you all. So I'm not going to bore you with too many technical details. I wanted to give you the big picture. And so I've put together a story for you, and this story will explain why and how this came about. So my interest is artificial intelligence, and it wasn't a coincidence because from a very early age I felt that this would be a key part of my future and your future. Things didn't actually happen as quickly as the movies predicted. So here I am, basically doing research in this field because I think it's important and the possibilities are enormous. So if we go back January, Iceland 2005, and we think about what existed here in terms of AI, well, actually, not very much. But in 2005, I co-founded Cadia with Ingvi Björnsson, and the research has just been coming and coming, and we have achieved a lot since then. It's really been an amazing 5 years. But the picture isn't quite complete. Now, let me tell you just a short story to set up the expectations. I want to tell you about the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence. This research center was founded in '88. It now exists in 4 cities in Germany. It has over 400 employees. It counts at least 45 spin-offs. And its turnover is more than 25 million euros per year. This is euro money that the EES agreement allows us to access to. So here's the virtuous circle of education and progress in society. You have people coming out of academia with some sort of learning experience. They are experts in learning. That means they can look at problems and figure out new ways of solving them. We have industry producing products. And out of industry come teachers as well as people to get re-educated. So this is the circle of progress. On the right-hand side here, we have the academic enterprise, which really should be looking sort of at blue sky ideas. Academia is very good at looking at things in new ways, at producing new ideas, and producing the people that can carry those ideas forward. Now, academia stretches to industry, but its main focus is education. So this is really important to keep in mind. On the other side, we have the industry producing products. It's sort of bottom heavy. What is its role? Well, it creates things, it schedules, it ships things on time, it makes things that work. Of course, industry also stretches a little bit to academia, but its main focus is products. So, in AI, if we look at AI, artificial intelligence, in Iceland, we have a shining example of AI research, Cadia, which has been established over the last 5 years with great success. What do we have on the other side? Well, this is my point. We have IIIM, and this completes the picture. So now with this harmonic new machine or mechanism, we have completed the necessary strengths for empowering the transition, the virtuous cycle of progress. So, who is making this possible? Well, last year we were granted a very big research grant to make this idea a reality. We have been collaborating very closely with Reykjavik-university on executing this idea, and we have achieved great success, and the future is bright. A key part of that is the existence of CADIA. And of course, we have been stretching out to industry. And CCP were able to see why this was an important idea and how it could benefit them. Now, not everyone in Iceland sees why this is necessary. So part of the task of IIIM is educating people in and making them understand what such an enterprise does and why it exists. So what do we do? What does IIIM do? What's the plan here? All right, so you've got industry on the left here. Now look into the future. Think about what industry does. Well, they think, so let's say this is now. They think in 3 years we're going to ship product X. Now product X is pretty much on the drawing board, so it doesn't exist. But in order to ship it in 3 years, we really have to keep our eyes peeled. So we can't really think into the future too far, where, granted, there's a lot of opportunity, but also a lot of uncertainty. So industry has to focus on solving issues today, solving their product plans, and delivering products. Towards the other end of this timeline, stretching actually a lot further than 12 years, you have academia. What's the goal of academia? Well, it's to prepare for the future. It's to reduce the uncertainty and take advantage of the opportunity that lies ahead in the next decade or series of decades. So, in the middle here, you kind of have a little bit of a gap, in fact. And this has been solved in many places, for example, by DFKI in Germany, by putting something in the middle. And that's where IIIM comes in. And with this, we can take blue sky projects from academia and act as a catalyzer to move these more quickly towards the industry. So in fact, we create a fast path. So here's what IIIM actually will do as a catalyzer. Basically, it will enable the flow of information, ideas, projects, products, and people between academia and industry, and allow academia to be what it should be, basically thinking very far into the future, and especially with technologies like artificial intelligence, where it's it's a very complex thing. It's on the very cutting edge of what our tools today allow us to do. And in fact, it really is thought of as a catalyzer. So that's the main role. It's a bridge between academia and industry. Now, the fact that we're actually telling you this today means that we have come a very long way in a short time. Essentially, the other countries in Europe, only the biggest ones have done this en masse. The others, for example, Norway, does have some good research centers like this, but it's really not taken to the level that it could be, especially not given all the money they have. But the thing is, with something like computer technology, with artificial intelligence and simulation, which rests on these we have much further to go. So what is the motivation here? Natural intelligence. Now these are examples of what natural intelligence, okay, well that's a little bit exaggerated maybe. But let's go back to this little guy. Let's think about what his ancestors have been able to do. It's pretty amazing. Now, if we can take something like that little guy, this is the challenge. If we can take this thing and make it in an artificial medium, we have harnessed an incredible power. This is the biggest power on this planet. And let's not hope it destroys it, by the way. We want this machine to be able to replicate, to imitate, to understand, and to invent. So, here's the inspiration. So, yeah, we have come a long way, and our main supporters are making this possible. This RANIS grant, which is really the foundation for making this possible, is no more in 6 years. So, what do? Well, we replace it with funding from elsewhere, because we want this to be a cog in the wheel of progress. We want this IIIM to churn out the functions that are missing in Iceland. We need to be aggressive and achieve, get competitive funding from Europe and possibly elsewhere. In the next 3 years, we want to increase the number of industry funders to 3, hopefully more. We want to win at least one FP7 grant, and we want to have on board 5 to 6 heavyweight researchers who wouldn't be here otherwise. Now, we already have proof that this is possible. We've seen the Germans do it. We've seen the US do it for a long time. And we have very good guidance on this. We want to achieve over 80 million Icelandic kroner in turnover every year. This is really the level, somewhere between 80 and 100, is the level of self-sustenance. So, this is where we're at. I would like to thank everyone who started with me on this project. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone in this list, but these are really the people who made this possible up to this point, and we need a lot more beyond this point to make this possible. It's not a long list, actually. It's only these 3 slides. These are the key people. If 1 or 2 of these people had said, no, I don't buy it, this wouldn't be happening. So I really think it's my sincere belief that this is an idea whose time has come, and we just get so lucky that we get to execute it. It's a lot of headache too. So let's just hope that the future is as glitzy as my slides. And thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, please feel free to.